Hello and welcome to another City Update. I'm Deborah Cedillo-Dugan. In the time it took me to say hello, there is a hacker out there getting into someone's computer and stealing their information. Today we're here to talk about cybersecurity. Joining me today is Eileen Klein. She is a cybersecurity program coordinator for Phoenix's Homeland Security and Emergency Management. Eileen, thank you so much for joining us. That is a mouthful, but a very, very important job and position.
It is. And Deborah, thank you very much for having me. I love cybersecurity.
Oh my goodness. Well, good. I'm glad that we have you in this position. So talk about exactly what you do for the city of Phoenix.
My role is to help improve Arizona's cyber resiliency. Everybody knows that hackers and bad guys are attacking us through their computers and networks. So my role is to make sure that, yes, we know we're getting attacked. Let's see how we can prevent it. Let's see how we can detect those attacks and then respond quickly to minimize harm.
Okay, that's great. But you know what? It's happening. And it's happening every single day, every single moment. Just like I said, hello, somebody's hacking into your smartphone, your computer, your iPad, whatever. Give us some pointers or some tips, if you will, that some residents and viewers can just say, oh, you know, I never thought about that. I should be doing that.
Yes, some of the basic cyber hygiene things. We all know use a strong password, but now, because processing speeds of computers has increased so much, the longer your password, the better. A 12-character password is actually stronger than an 8-character with all the upper, lower, special characters, numbers. But if you need a password, something like I hate passwords, all lowercase, that's actually stronger than that old password we used to use. And for those who can't remember passwords like me. Yes, I'm human too. My trick is to stick in what type of password it is. For example, I hate bank passwords. I hate email passwords. I hate work passwords.
Exclamation, 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 question mark.
Yep, makes the password really, really strong. Another thing is a lot of organizations are now offering what's called two-factor authentication or strong authentication. What that means, and you've probably seen where after you type in your password, you get a little code texted to your smartphone and you have to enter that code.
Yes.
Well, that's something you know, your password. Well, passwords are cracked all the time, so that's not that strong. But having that extra code proves that you have your smartphone. You're the only one who has your smartphone. Right. So that really proves that you really are you.
That's that other little layer.
It's an extra layer.
Well, let me ask you about this, because a lot of people do in fact have smartphones. And for me, personally, I put my passwords in my notes of all my passwords. Is that a bad thing?
In general, yes. If they're straight, my password for this account is,
yes.
I hate passwords.
Yes.
Yeah, don't write that down.
Okay.
You can, now there are software programs called password managers, like KeyPass and others, LastPass. They will collect your passwords and all you have to do is remember one master password to get in.
Okay.
But the downside of those is if that password manager is cracked, well, then the bad guy has all of your passwords.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of, you have to weigh the risk.
What do we do? What do we do?
One thing that I do is, again, I use one phrase and then modify it slightly.
It could be a favorite song, your favorite movie,
Yep.
your favorite actor.
Yep,
Yes.
favorite biblical phrase,
Okay.
if you like those.
Okay.
Just any phrase.
Okay, so those are passwords.
Yep.
So let's talk about the phishing and the emails, because some of them look pretty real.
They look so much better. In the old days, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, scam phishing emails were really easy to recognize because there was a lot of grammar errors, spelling errors. You could tell it wasn't written by...
Grammatically, it was not
wrong.
right. Please send me money.
Right.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
I'm a Nigerian prince,
Right.
let me help you get money out, or help me get money out of the country. We all know those now. Today, the bad guys are using some really interesting techniques. First, the grammar is very good. Everything is spelled correctly. And in some extortion type emails, they actually put personal information about you in the email to make it more credible. For example, there's one scam that's kind of rampant right now. It's called sex torsion. Basically, you get an email from a bad guy that says, "Hi, I know your name, here's your username, here's your password, and I know that you've been watching porn at work. So what I'm going to do, if you don't pay me so much money in Bitcoin, that cryptocurrency, or a gift card or iTunes something, I'm going to send everybody you know a video of you watching porn." Now, what the bad guy has done is they've gotten these cracked passwords from old breaches, like Yahoo breach and LinkedIn. So that password that's in the email is actually your old password. And please tell me you've changed it by now.
God, how scary is that?
But how scary is it? Because it looks so credible, but it's a pure scam. Absolutely pure scam.
How often should you be changing your password?
Well, the thing is, if you have one of these really long passwords, as long as it hasn't been cracked, I mean, you get notified if there's been a breach. They're generally in mainstream media, like Facebook very recently. You really don't have to change it that often. Old style rules, every 90 days minimum.
That's crazy. I think there's so many things you need passwords for. And now with social media, I'm glad you touched upon that too, with Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, you know, all those different platforms, you're having passwords. And, you know, hackers are getting that information through there too.
Yes, they've all been breached. I hate to say it. Any determined bad guy will be able to access any system that he really wants to. And sometimes systems are misconfigured, so bad guys take advantage of that, or they don't have the appropriate safeguards. And one other thing about, you mentioned all the social media, please use unique passwords. I hate Facebook password, I hate LinkedIn password, I hate Instagram password.
Doggy names, possibly?
Not if you post information about your doggy online.
And then you have, I read that somewhere too about animals. So this is all great information. And I also want to point out that I know that October is in fact Cybersecurity Month. However, in saying that for our viewers, it's year round. It's every single day, 365 days out of the year, 24/7. You know, we live in a global, I mean, our world just keeps shrinking, all the connectivity. So we just want to make sure we keep people safe.
Yep, and all the devices people are using.
Absolutely. There's just so many. It just, I want to turn it all off one day. Eileen, thank you so much for sharing this great information with us and doing what you do for the city of Phoenix and for the state of Arizona.
And Deborah, thank you again for having me. If anybody has ever any questions, they can reach out to actually ACTIC Cybersecurity.
Okay, that sounds great.
At azdps.gov.
Perfect, and we will put that on the screen for our viewers as well.
Okay.
It's great seeing you, and welcome back to Phoenix.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, before we wrap up, I want to review quickly some tips to remember to keep you and your family's security safe. Remember, create strong and long passwords. Lock up your devices at all times when you're not using them. Be aware of phishing emails and watch out for those nasty fake URLs or websites. Stay informed, stay diligent. Cyber attacks are becoming more and more sophisticated. For City Update, I'm Deborah Cedillo Dugan.